Welcome to the Cabinet Learning Series. Today's edition, Best Practices for Financial Advisors. Through our experience with numerous financial advisory clients over the years, we found some common best practices using Cabinet Safe. What we're going to talk about today are Cabinet Safe Cloud and why it's the best choice for financial advisors. Best practice filing structure. This is derived by working with multiple broker-dealers and their OSJs and what we found works best. Compliance tools available with Cabinet Safe. Common naming conventions and how to use naming templates in Cabinet Safe. Creating efficiency with Cabinet's built-in workflow. And how to use Cabinet Share for secure client communications. Some observations. A vast majority of our financial advisor clients choose Cabinet Cloud over Cabinet's premises installed version. A lot of reasons for this. Number one, cash flow. You don't have to invest in expensive network gear, hardware, and people that support it. We provide the implementation services to get you up and running in no time. You can be set up on monthly recurring credit card billing, which is going to ease the cash flow crunch. The service is very reliable and it's very secure. Backups and ample data storage is included. We host at multiple data centers to ensure that your data is protected in the event of a natural or an unnatural disaster. And then there are the FINRA and SEC compliance tools. And having this system in place will take the bite out of being audited. We've talked to multiple clients whose audit time has been reduced from weeks to days, going from a paper environment to Cabinet Safe Cloud. If you're affiliated with LPL, we're part of the LPL's Vendor Affinity Program. You can call us for the details. Broker-dealers, we work with multiple broker-dealers, including but not limited to LPL, Capital Garden, Finance 500, Beck, Securities America. If your broker-dealer is not on that list, get in touch with them. Chances are we've worked with them and we can help you out with them. We'd love to talk to them about working with them. Now we'll talk a little bit about that standard filing structure and the framework that we apply to new users. And I'm going to jump over to a demo system here. So we log into Cabinet Safe. And we choose our financial advisor repository and go to one of these cabinets. You'll see that the filing structure set up. It's what we usually apply. However, you need to follow the compliance guidelines that your broker-dealer sets up. We're going to give you the tools, and it's up to you to apply them. This is kind of where our experience comes into play. We start off with a standard setup that has proven itself multiple times. So the setup looks like this. You have a repository that looks like a file room. It has file cabinets in it. In this case, we have an advisory clients cabinet, branch compliant files, broker clients, insurance clients if you deal with insurance, and then a link to Salesforce. In the one we have highlighted is the advisory clients cabinet. You'll note inside the file cabinet are multiple file folders. Equate these file folders to the green expandable folders within a file cabinet drawer. Then within those are multiple manila file folders containing your documents, and we call those tabs. We'll show you those in a second. So for each one of these file folders, you have demographic information on each one of your accounts. And this can be, you can have as few of these as you want or as many. The number is basically unlimited. So any information that you need to pull over, you can pull in, and we'll help you do that. So I'll open one of these just by clicking open, or you can double click it, and you'll see the tabs up here that I equated a minute ago to the manila file folders in a file cabinet drawer. So you'll note the different documents. We highlight them, you get a preview of them out here. Very easy to see. So what we had was a file cabinet, or I'm sorry, a file folder for each account that a client holds. So you can have multiples for each type of client that you have. One of the features that we have here is called document sets. Typically you're going to have a specific set of documents for every client that you set up. So we'll go over here to the Account Documents tab. We're going to click New up here. Wrong New. We're going to click the little down arrow and then click Document Sets. So we have a set called New Advisory Account Forms. And every time we create a new folder, you'll note it's going to automatically put these two forms in there. So I'm just going to click this here, and it's going to add those two to this setup. So it put this account application form in, and also an account opening checklist that went into workflow, you'll see. So very quickly, that was our account filing structure, and just a little bit about document sets. So Donna's going to take it over now, and she's going to talk to you about those compliance tools that I mentioned, how naming templates rule in creating order within your system, how workflow increases efficiency and is used in the compliance approval process, and finally how Share helps with secure client communications.
Thank you, Gene. We're going to look now at some of the compliance tools that are built into SAFE. First of all, you can set up users and groups to have certain access rights that would have, let's say, edit limitations. For example, a user can create a document but not edit the document's contents. So these limitations are set by the cabinet administrator in the Management Console under Access Rights. Our software also provides the capability to set permanent retention, so documents are written to that electronic WORM regulatory standard, the write once, read many. Retention can be customized by the cabinet administrator in SAFE Management Console. Retention can be customized by the cabinet administrator in the SAFE Management Console to be applied or set through several different methods. It can be set through the naming template. So as a document is filed into SAFE, if that naming template is customized to have a retention setting with it, then as soon as the document is filed, retention will be set. Retention can also be set in workflow, and this can be set manually on a document by document basis. For example, if a compliance officer receives a document or a bundle of documents to process their approval, this can be taken care of in the workflow bin. Let me show you what I mean. Here we have a document bundle in workflow, and let's say this is the compliance officer's workflow bin. The document has come from the advisor to the compliance officer. The officer reviews all of the documentation, and if it's acceptable at that point, they're going to return it to the advisor. But they can first go in and edit the document description while it is in their workflow and set the retention based on the industry standards that you have. Now, retention can also be set en masse. Some organizations set retention in a regular rhythm, for example daily, by generating a report where they query all of the documents in SAFE that don't have retention set on them. Then, using the tools in the search function, they apply retention en masse. Let me show you what I mean. Here we see that we have run a query in our advanced search feature across all of our cabinets. And the way that we built the query was to find the documents in those cabinets that had a retention setting of none. Our search results yielded 65 documents, so we highlighted them all. We can go here to Tools and we can set the retention setting at that point. Again, we provide the capabilities for retention settings, and it is up to the cabinet administrator, be that the broker-dealer, RIA, or the advisor, to apply those settings in their own safe according to the industry regulations. Now we're going to take a look at those naming templates that we discussed earlier. One of the best ways we help bring order out of chaos is to provide customized naming conventions for your advisory documents. This is accomplished through the use of SAFE's naming templates. When like documents are named similarly, information is easier to locate, better search results are achieved, and all members of your organization function under the same digital language. Let me show you an example of this. Here we see in the Management Console, in the Naming Templates setting, and step 3 is where you build the segments of your naming template. This particular one will have the check number, and the check number will be required, and then it will ask for the product sponsor name, and it will actually bring in information from the folder index values that will automatically populate into the document title. I'll show you what I mean here. Here we are in batch filing. Now, anytime you file in SAFE, you get some version of the SAFE filer, which asks you where you want to place the document. We've already selected that here, and the next step is to choose your document manager and templates. So I have selected that checks template, and I see here it is requiring me, I can see this red required field. It is requiring me to put in the check number, and it's asking me for the sponsor name and the client's IRA account number. So as I put the information in these fields, it builds the document title. So all of the members in this organization who file their checks file them in the same format. As you can see, these customized naming conventions can simplify the management of all of your documentations. As you can see, the customized naming conventions can simplify the management of all your documentation. Another way for advisors to increase efficiency is through SAFE's workflow feature. You can optimize any of your internal business processes by utilizing workflow. Workflow replaces the old-fashioned paper tray or in-basket process where paper documents were carried from one desk to another and often they got lost in the process. Well, workflow allows users across multiple offices to route items to one another digitally for review. Many of our RIAs and broker-dealers use workflow for compliance approval processes. Let me show you what I mean. First, documents are filed in safe. Then the advisor bundles and routes that bundle to the compliance department for approval. Then the compliance officer reviews them, approves them, requests more information, whatever is needed, and then returns that bundle to the advisor. You can see here we have a bundle of documents. There are 3 documents here. And I see a bundle note from the compliance officer that says, "You are missing the trade confirm document. Please add and resend." Well, you can actually add a document while the bundle is in workflow just by clicking on the right here and accessing the tools and adding a new document to the bundle. Then that can be rerouted back to the compliance officer for the final approval. That can be rerouted to the compliance officer for the final approval. A document's workflow trace history stays with that document as it is filed in safe. Let me show you what I mean. Here, this particular one is in workflow right now. I can tell because it has a workflow icon associated with it. And if I right click here, I'll access the tool called Trace. The document trace box will open and it tells the history of this document in workflow beginning at the bottom and where it is now at the top. With this user, you can see any of the notes, any of the participants included. It's all saved with the trace information, and it stays with that document as it is filed in safe, regardless of whether it is still in workflow or if it's already completed its workflow processes. Another safe feature that's gaining traction in your community is our encrypted Share portal. Share allows you to send and receive sensitive documents to clients outside of SAFE. So Share is encrypted for secure client communication. This tool can save you time and money, whether it's couriers or overnight shipping trying to get signatures in a timely manner. You can use Share instead. Now, when you add your client to your Share address book, he receives an email asking him to register his Share account, so that means he creates his own secure password for that Share portal. When you actually send the document to him through Share, he receives a notification email, logs into Share, accesses the document, affects any changes needed, for example, for a signature, then uploads the document back into Share. You then get an email notification that it has been returned to you, and you can find the document in your Share screen. I'll show you here. Here are 2 items in the Share screen, and once the item is returned to you, you can right-click here and access these tools to preview or view it. You can save it to save. You'll see any notes here on the right. You can save it to your Windows directory if needed. If you would like to purchase Share, talk with your account manager for more information. If you are an LPL advisor, Share is already included in your monthly cloud services fee. All you have to do to activate your Share license is to send a request for Share activation to helpdesk@cabinetpaperless.com. So today we've covered some of the best practices for financial advisors. How Cabinet Safe Cloud is the best platform for financial advisors to use. The best practices regarding filing structure, document sets, the compliance tools that are available within Cabinet Safe, and how using naming templates can help keep your structure sound. We can create efficiency in your organization by using workflow, and how Cabinet Share can create secure client communication for you. Thank you for attending today's session.